before we go to the pharyngeal muscles, you might remember that this guy here was the sternohyoideus muscle. And this was the sternothyroideus muscle with the thyroid gland. Now the sternothyroideus muscle attaches to the thyroid cartilage, thus the name. It's also a good landmark because this muscle caudal to it here is attached to the cricoid cartilage, and it goes all the way up onto the pharynx. And so this is the cricopharyngeus muscle right here. Now it's hard to see details on it. And so that's why I always use landmarks to differentiate it, one from another. So the cricopharyngeus and now the thyropharyngeus, which is hidden here, under here, the thyropharyngeus.
This part of the sternothyroideus, or is it something else?
No, it's something else. I'll tell you what it is soon. Soon, yeah. That's the next episode. So then,
continuing on.
Yeah, so we have the cricopharyngeus here, we have the thyropharyngeus here, and here's another landmark that's telling me that the thyropharyngeus stops rostrally right here. This landmark nerve is the cranial laryngeal nerve, and it is a branch of the vagus nerve. Okay. Then, continuing on rostrally, the next muscle we encounter here is the hyopharyngeus muscle. Not the stylopharyngeus, hyopharyngeus muscle. Now, the hyopharyngeus muscle is going from the hyoid apparatus, so it's pretty broad. It's this guy right here. Get my fat fingers out of the way. So, hyopharyngeus, thyropharyngeus, cricopharyngeus. The hyopharyngeus muscle attaches to the hyoid apparatus. And remember, we had the sternohyoideus here, which was also attached to the hyoid apparatus. And so that's what this guy is doing. He's attaching to the hyoid apparatus. So what the heck is the hyoid apparatus?
It's a little floating bony cartilage thingy.
It is, yes, that's exactly what it is. And it's kind of like a little basket that the larynx rests attached to. And then as the muscles of the hyoid apparatus contract and move, that shifts the hyoid apparatus, which therefore shifts the larynx, which helps make sure that you don't swallow food in your trachea. Helps to direct it into the esophagus.
Neat. Useful.
It's very useful. Very, very, very handy.
Very useful cartilage bony thingy.
Yes.
Floating.
Now, you asked about this muscle here, and this thing right here is the thyroid cartilage. That thing right there. Here's the little bottom part of the cricoid cartilage. So this is going from the cricoid cartilage to the thyroid cartilage, so that's the cricothyroideus.
Of course.
Good. Makes sense.
There it is.
So where's
Somebody had like
the
turned on the face.
geniohyoideus?
Oh, my goodness. Bumping in anatomy wrong.
Yeah.
The geniohyoideus is the one that's going from the genu to the hyoid apparatus. Geniohyoideus.
Okay.
Well, let me make sure I said this one right. I may have said this one wrong. If I said it wrong, I gotta correct myself. Oh, I did say this one wrong. I apologize. That's okay, that's okay. This is the cricothyroideus. This muscle here is the cricothyroideus. This muscle is the, yes, thyrohyoideus. Thyrohyoideus muscle. Thyrohyoideus muscle. So correct that on what I said. Thyrohyoideus cricothyroideus muscle. Okay, now I said it right. Sorry about that. Don't fire me.
Is it, this is probably a dumb question, but it's safe to assume the cricothyroid muscle is the same as the cricothyroideus?
Yes,
Okay.
and that's not a dumb question because it's confusing.
I just want to make sure.
Yes, you are absolutely correct. Okay, what did I miss? Okay, the palatopharyngeus and the pterygopharyngeus and the stylopharyngeus. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, so for the palatopharyngeus, and it may be a little chewed up on this thing. Palatopharyngeus, it is a little chewed up here. That's a muscle that runs from the soft palate up to the wall of the pharynx. So it's within the wall here, and I think whoever was trying to identify it kind of messed it up. But there's literally muscle fibers in here, and it's going. Then here's the soft palate right here, and so the palatopharyngeus would be the one that's coming up like this. Okay.
So would you say that's in that arch you were talking about earlier?
Well, that's ventral.
Underneath? Ventral, okay.
Yeah.
It's dorsal, okay.
That's dorsal to it. Yeah. Now the palatoglossal arch goes to the tongue, and then here's the palatopharyngeus, which is going up dorsal.
Okay.
All right. Then there's a no, not yet. Not yet.
Stylopharyngeus?
Yeah, the stylopharyngeus.
Yeah.
Yeah, the pterygopharyngeus. Okay, so that's the pterygoid process. You remember that from looking at the bones? No.
Yes.
Okay, so that's right here. That's the pterygoid process right there. And so this muscle here is the pterygopharyngeus because it's going from that pterygoid process and it's running kind of parallel to the ground. Okay, so it's this guy running that away. The stylopharyngeus is going to go from that stylohyoid bone,
Oh,
which
okay, that makes more sense.
I gotta find it. It's not always easy to find.
Do you see my handwriting?
Okay, I'm feeling it here. That stylohyoid bone attaches to the skull. Obviously, it's very flexible. No, I'm serious. It's very flexible. So it attaches to the skull, just rostral to the bulla, to the tympanic bulla. So here's the bone right here. This little right here is the bone. And so that is going to attach. There's going to have an attachment between it and the pharynx, stylopharyngeus. And it is the only muscle that opens up. It's going to pull this up. So it's the only thing. See, is that true? Am I telling the truth here? Oh, I better not say anything. I won't say anything. But,
Statement retracted.
yeah, you're just incomplete. So the stylopharyngeus, let's see if we can find what it looks like.
It always sounds good. But they took away PS.
Okay, this should be the digastricus. Stylopharyngeus.
I want water. I'm very thirsty. I can't drink the water.
It's like 4:05. We're doing well.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure where that I know it's part of the stylohyoid, or the hyoid apparatus, and it goes from the stylohyoid bone. And I know it goes to the pharynx, but I'm not exactly sure
That's okay.
where that is. Yeah, so we'll pass on that one. Levator villi palatini. Okay, that's this little guy.
Palatin's dry.
Palatini. I like that.
Levator
I like
villi
that
palatini.
My palatini
It,
needs a
it
martini.
elevates the palate.
need a martini.
See how when I pull this, it elevates the palate. And the tensor villi palatini is, okay, so we got this guy is the pterygophryngis, but the tensor villi palatini is deeper. And it's just kind of, it runs, gosh, I don't want to cut that. That would be bad. So I won't.
I'm good with deep to that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I learned like 90% of the thoracic limb muscle. And deep to that is.
And deep to that.
True. Yes.
I don't want to hear this. I don't want to hear it. La 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 la.
But we learned it.
Yeah, you learned it. There you go.
Actually, that was my best exam, so I don't know. It's gone downhill. It's very, very, yeah, very fast.
This is not for the faint of heart.
Really? Well,
That's for
it should have
sure.
been mine.
So where's
but
the
I don't know what
vocalis
happened.
muscle?
Well, that I can tell you, no problem.